Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 7.5. So the basic strategy for this one was to make a cylinder first, and then just start cutting away. I'm going to cut out this part. For this, I'm going to make a circle, and then one of the rectangles, and then do the cut. Then do a circular pattern to create these other two cuts. For these three cuts then, I'm going to make a construction circle, draw one of the circles, and then do a circular pattern to create the other circles, then cut them all. And then lastly, for these holes, there's 6 of them, these holes, I'm going to create a reference plane and then do a cut in this direction up to next, and then a cut in this direction up to next. Then finally mirror to create this other hole, and then do a circular pattern for the remaining 4 holes. So that's the overview. Let's get started. Going to start with the front plane. Make a big giant circle with 250 diameter. All right, and do an extrusion. So I made a shortcut Control E for extrusion, and it looks like it's 100. There we go. All right, so then I'm going to start making the cuts. So this circle and these parts, but they're inwards a little bit. So I'm going to make a reference plane at 30 from this plane. So I'm going to make from 30 from this plane. This is the front plane here. So 30 in, I'm going to make a reference plane. And then I can cut away from that reference plane. So we'll hit front plane, reference geometry plane, and then type 30. Looks like it's going in the right direction. Then we can start sketching on this. And as mentioned, we're going to make a circle for the inside part, which has a radius of, where was that radius? 65. Oh, sorry, diameter 65. And then for the rectangle part, so for this part right here, the way that I approached this was I kind of looked at this like a rectangle. So this looks like a rectangle to me, going like this. And it can go inwards a little bit into the circle. That's fine. So basically what I did is create a center line going from the center of this circle up here, and then drew a centered rectangle. So let's see what that looks like. Center line from here up to here, and then do a centered rectangle. And you can see how the midpoint of this activates. So when I click on that and open it up, we can lock it to the top, to the center of the circle. So that's 125 already. That looks good. That's half of the 250 diameter for the big circle. So I'll hit enter, and then the width of this rectangle is 30. There we go. So actually we ended up going all the way in to the center of the circle, but that's fine. All right, so with this we can then do the extruded cut. We'll be going in the other opposite direction here, and we can just do a through all cut, make sure that we get all the way through. For the contours to select, we're going to select this one and then this one as well. Hit enter, and now we've got basic one of the cuts, so we need to make the other 2 cuts, but for that I'm going to use this same cut, extruded cut, and do a circular pattern in the direction of this circle. You can also choose the back one if you want. And we want to do 3 of them, and it's already set to 3, so that looks good. I'll hit enter. All right, so that looks pretty good for our little upside down Y-shaped cut. And I'm going to go ahead and hide this plane. All right, looking pretty good. So let's focus on those 3 holes here, here, and here. Looks like we need to make a construction circle, or can make a construction circle with, let's see, it looks like this is the 65 diameter. Oh, the radius of the construction circle is 65. So we'll double that to get the diameter. And then we can place the bottom one first, and then do a circular pattern for the other 2. All right, so we'll do all of this in just the front plane. That's fine. All right, create a circle, 65 times 2. Hit enter. And I want to make this for construction, and you can see over here that if I hit Alt-C, it'll make it for construction. There we go. And I can hit enter, or just the green checkbox. Sometimes enter doesn't completely work. All right, so now let's go ahead and create a circle down at the bottom here. Oops. So right here at the bottom of the construction circle, I'm going to create a 25 diameter circle. Looking good. And then we'll use a circular pattern on that circle, so we'll make sure it's highlighted and do a circular pattern. We want 3 of them, and we want them to be equally spaced apart. We'll dimension the radius for each of these, dimension the radius, and so we can hit enter. Now there's still a little bit of movement that you can do. You can sort of see that this center line that's created can move around. So if we click on this and make it vertical like it should be, when they're all in the right places, then everything is fully defined. So that's looking pretty good. We can go ahead and do our cut. And we want to cut through all. We can do through all or through all in both directions. One thing that I noticed is that it actually changes the end volume a little bit if you do through all versus through all both directions. I think there's some kind of precision calculation that's a little bit off when you do one versus the other. So ultimately it shouldn't matter if you do through all or through all both, because it's still going to cut the same part theoretically, but it does affect the volume a little bit. And we're going to see that our answer at the end is not exactly the same as the given answer. I think it has to do with these little precision issues. I'm not sure how to go about fixing them, not an expert, but I noticed that it matters if you do, what kind of cuts you do. So even though it shouldn't. All right, so let's go ahead and work on this hole right here. So we're going to make a reference plane as mentioned. That's going to be 55 from this plane here. And then we'll, in that reference plane, draw 2 circles, one for the small cut and one for the bigger cut. And then we'll do cuts in both directions. All right. So which plane is that? That's the right plane. So click on the right plane, reference geometry plane, and we're going to go out 55. There we go. We can click on the plane, hit sketch. Now we got to make sure to position this thing. So just for reference, since we need to know where this is, I'm going to make a center line. Just has to be horizontal. And then start creating the circle, the inner circle, which has a diameter of 20. And let me go ahead and make sure that all of this is in the right place. So the horizontal distance to the left side is 30. And then the vertical distance to the center line is, 90. It's a little bit weird because they write this 90 as diameter. Not exactly sure what they're talking about here. And then they say typical. I guess typical because there are many holes, but not sure what they mean by the diameter part. That's a head scratcher. But anyway, we got the circle in the right place. I'm going to go ahead and make the other circle as well. That one has a diameter of 35. All right. And now at this point, so we've got the 2 circles, we can take the inner one and cut left and the outer one and cut right up to the next surface. So up to next. So let's go ahead and do that. We can hit the S key and go into an extruded cut. Now for the contours that we're going to select, I'm just going to select the inner contour, and then we're going to do up to next. I could have used right click for that, up to next. Now we want to flip the direction, so reverse the direction so it goes this way instead. And it looks like we're getting another direction here actually. So let's uncheck this other direction. And we actually had the up to next going in the correct direction. So let's reverse the reverse direction. All right, I think we got it now. You can see that little yellow circle definitely going up to this surface right here. Okay, hit enter. Sometimes when you have the through all in both directions, it selects both directions, and then when you change one, it still has the other one doing a through all. So if you're not careful, you might get a through all in one direction accidentally. All right, so let's then select this sketch. We'll do an extruded cut, and for the contours, we'll get rid of the whole sketch and just get this outer circle. But we don't want to go in this direction. We want to go in the reverse direction, out to this curved surface. So we can hit enter, and now we've got a nice looking hole. As a quick aside, let me just hide this plane. As a quick aside, there's probably a good way to do this using the hole wizard. I'm still learning, just like you guys are. And so if you guys have a good way of using the hole wizard here, I'd love to see it. I'm sure it's a great tool, and I just haven't fully learned how to use it yet. So, and this seemed pretty straightforward in this particular case. So anyway, now that we have this hole, let's go ahead and mirror it to get another copy on the other side here. So we'll select and shift select both of these cuts so that we get both of these holes here, or the whole hole, as you might say. And we're going to mirror it about, so we're going to mirror it about, what is it, the right plane. Here we go. Okay, so now we have two holes. So then we're going to use a circular pattern to get holes here and here. So we'll make sure to select mirror, which actually covers both of those holes, and then do a circular pattern in this direction. And we'll do 3 of them. And it looks like they're going in the right places here. So we can hit enter. And there we go. Looking pretty good. All right. So let's check to see what mass or what volume we got. So we got 3687496. 3687496. And this is 3687610. So it is a little bit off, but like I mentioned, it seemed to affect the volume how you did the cuts. So I assumed that if you, instead of doing like cut up to next, if you did a cut through all, it may change the volume a little bit, which then multiplies as you create all the other holes. And so I don't know exactly what cuts were used to create this number, but if you're off a little bit, it may be okay. This seems like a very little bit percentage-wise. The other weird thing is that it's cubic centimeters. I don't know where that comes from because everything's in millimeters and I can't see any centimeters in the picture here as far as I can tell. So yet another head scratcher. All right. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. For more CSWA practice problem solutions, you can check out a channel called Design with Roozbe. Take care and keep studying.